So today for teaching Dhamma or the Dhamma Talk. So all of you are welcome, all the listeners who are listening to this Dhamma Talk are welcome to listen to this Dhamma Talk, and you can ask questions through the live chat. So this is a special period for most of the people who are living in this world because this pandemic. So most of the governments in this world instruct people to stay at home, so as much as they can, because otherwise it will give much more difficulties to the health systems or the healthcare systems in all the countries, because if this pandemic spread through large number of people, so the healthcare systems can't handle the large number of people. So that's why the most governments instruct people to stay at home. So this is this time because most people are not used to stay at home. They used to go to their jobs and hanging around with their friends and colleagues, or do their professional activities, or sometimes maybe the children go to their schools, and the university students go to their universities and do their studies, and hang around with their friends and teachers. So now no one can do these things. All governments ask to refrain from all these activities and stay at home, or stay your boarding place, or wherever you are staying. So because that is the responsibility of authorities to control spreading this coronavirus, and facing people much more difficulties. So it is advisable for everyone to follow the instructions which are given by the governments. So it is helpful. So but the problem is most people are facing difficulties when they are staying in home. So they feel really unhappy or uncomfortable, because they are not used to stay like that. Their minds were conditioned to hang around with their friends or the colleagues, or to involve in their jobs or the work. So without doing these things, some people, not all, some people face a difficulty for staying at home, doing without anything. So anyway, then you have to find out a useful way of living. So some people, if your home have any maintenance work, so that you can involve in maintenance work, or you can sometimes you can spend much more time for reading something related to your job or something related to your education. So that is also useful. Or sometimes you can read about philosophies, religions, and the lot of things. But these things always make your mind leads to more thinking and doing a lot of work, or the involved in mind, or sometimes this leads to talk to other people and discuss things over the internet or over the telephone, or many different methods you can use to live in this world and enjoy different this kind of five sense world activities. So that is how the most people live in this world. So but according to the Lord Buddha's teachings, because when we are going behind this kind of five sense world objects, there is no end. So that sometimes people become frustrated, sometimes people become unhappy, because when you engage with your studies, or engage with your office work, or your any job, so you are just only focused to your work most of the time. But when you are staying at your home, your mind is distracted and go to sometimes you may your mind tends to listen to news or different rumors, and sometimes this today many different media like Facebook, WhatsApp, that kind of media give people they share a lot of information, including a lot of false information also. So sometimes people get very unhappy, or sometimes people watch the YouTube videos. Some are actually not true, false, and the misinformation we share, and people's mind become unhappy because these things go against your wish, against your expectations. Therefore, your mind become unhappy. So that's why Lord Buddha say, when you are engaging in this world, most of the time unhappiness come to you, because you have a choice. You choose things each and every moment, depending on your the condition of your mind. That means the causes and conditions at that moment related to your mind makes choices. When the things go against your choices, you are not happy, you are get angry. So that's why Lord Buddha say it is good to refrain from taking objects in, and guard your senses, guard your mind. It is beneficial for you. It makes your mind calm and quiet and happy. So when you are taking in all these false the information through your senses, create problems. Sometimes true information, but you don't have a control on you don't have a authority to control the world. So Lord Buddha say even you don't have authority to control your senses also sometimes, because your senses or your thoughts, your intentions always driven by the causes and conditions. Lord Buddha say these your senses are not belongs to you. These are always governed by the causes and conditions. So therefore, sometimes when we become unhappy about our experiences, totally based on delusion. So if you understand this reality within ourselves, then your mind become calm and quiet, and the compassionate to all your experiences, and you can deal with your experiences in a wise way. So not falling into the unwholesome thoughts, that is greed based, hatred based thoughts, you can abandon if you relate to your senses in the right way. That means you take all the objects come to your senses are impermanent, and always these objects come your sense bases, which are contact on the sense sense objects, are also change. The sense bases also change. Eye, base, ear, nose, tongue, body, consciousness, always based on the causes and conditions at that moment. It is momentarily change these sense bases based on different causes and conditions. So that's why even against the same object, you get different feelings and perceptions in different moments, different times. having different perceptions, different volitions or choices against the same the object. So therefore, if you are relate to this five sense world correctly, or if you guard your senses, it is beneficial for you. So I will read a sutta today, the short sutta. You can see in Samyutta Nikaya. So this one actually encourage Lord Buddha people to guard your senses. So it is beneficial for you. It makes your mind happy. It makes you happy and contented, because these senses, you have to keep in mind all the time, this whatever perception, whatever feeling, whatever perception, whatever volition arises in your mind is impermanent. Always these things based on causes and condition at that moment. When the moment is changing, the causes and conditions also change. When the causes and conditions are changing, the feelings, perceptions and volitions also change. So therefore, no need to worry about these things. Just let it be, let it go. You have to develop that that attitude within yourself. Then you relate to your consciousnesses in a different way. So then your mind never fall into the deep unhappinesses or anxiety like things. So you accept the reality and you become contented. So I will read this sutta. I think it is just reminding that how Lord Buddha taught us how to live in this world. So this sutta come in Samyutta Nikaya, Salayatana Samyutta, Salavagga, Adanta Agutta Sutta. You can read these suttas in Sutta Central website. So I extracted this sutta from Sutta Central website, Ajahn Sujato's translation. It is the number 94, actually, Linked Discourses 35, 10, the Sixes, number 94, Untamed, Unguarded. This is the name that according to the translation. Pali word is Adanta Agutta Sutta. So I will read this sutta. This is the Ajahn Sujato's translation. At Savatthi, mendicants, these 6 fields of contact bring suffering when they are untamed, unguarded, unprotected, and unrestrained. What 6? The field of eye contact brings suffering when it is untamed, unguarded, unprotected, and unrestrained. The field of ear contact brings suffering when it is untamed, unguarded, unprotected, and unrestrained. The field of nose contact brings suffering when it is untamed, unguarded, unprotected, and unrestrained. The field of tongue contact brings suffering when it is untamed, unguarded, unprotected, and unrestrained. The field of body contact brings suffering when it is untamed, unguarded, unprotected, and unrestrained. The field of mind contact brings suffering when it is untamed, unguarded, unprotected, and unrestrained. These 6 fields of contact bring suffering when they are untamed, unguarded, unprotected, and unrestrained. These 6 fields of contact bring happiness when they are well tamed, well guarded, well protected, and well restrained. What 6? The field of eye contact brings happiness when it is well tamed, well guarded, well protected, and well restrained. The field of ear contact brings happiness when it is well tamed, well guarded, well protected, and well restrained. The field of nose contact brings happiness when it is well tamed, well guarded, well protected, and well restrained. The field of tongue contact brings happiness when it is well tamed, well guarded, well protected, and well restrained. The field of body contact brings happiness when it is well tamed, well guarded, well protected, and well restrained. The field of mind contact brings happiness when it is well tamed, well guarded, well protected, and well restrained. These 6 fields of contact bring happiness when they are well tamed, well guarded, well protected, and well restrained. That is what Buddha said. The Holy One, the teacher, went on to say. These are the verses, actually, they're translated to English. Mendicants, it is just the 6 fields of contact that lead the unrestrained to suffering. Those who understand how to restrain them live with faith as partner, uncorrupted. When you have seen pleasant sights and unpleasant ones too, get rid of desire for the pleasant without hating what you don't like. When you have heard sounds, both liked and disliked, don't fall under the thrall of sounds you like. Get rid of hate for the unliked, and don't hurt your mind by thinking of what you don't like. When you have smelled a pleasant, fragrant scent and one that's foul and unpleasant, get rid of aversion for the unpleasant, while not yielding to desire for the pleasant. When you have enjoyed a sweet, delicious taste, and sometimes those that are bitter, don't be attached to enjoying sweet tastes, and don't despise the bitter. Don't be intoxicated by a pleasant touch, and don't tremble at a painful touch. Look with equanimity at the duality of pleasant and painful contacts, without favoring or opposing anything. People generally let their perceptions proliferate, perceiving and proliferating. They are attracted. When you have dispelled all thoughts of the lay life, wander intent on renunciation. When the mind is well developed like this regarding the 6, it doesn't waver at contacts at will. Mendicants, those who have mastered greed and hate, go beyond birth and death. So, this is the sutta. This I read. This is come in linked discourses. This Samyutta Nikaya. So, when you tame and the restrain your senses, it is helpful to calm down your mind and abandon unwholesomeness of the mind. That means the greed and hatred you can abandon. Once you abandon the greed and hatred, then it is really gives you the happiness in your day-to-day life. Because greed and hatred is enemy of your happiness. So I want to emphasize this. I want to read this sutta for most of the people. This kind of teachings you can find out, large number of this kind of teachings you can find out in Tipitaka, the sutta, Lord Buddha's teachings. So these things are actually, when you have when you wisely consider these things, you see the reality, truth of these things. So because if you carefully watch the behavior of our mind, so you see the untrustworthiness. It is because sometimes it say this is good, this is nice, but after some time say no, they say this is, oh no, I missed it, that is not the good thing, something else is good. So this is the way how this mind works. So therefore it is good to keep in mind this mind always run based on causes and conditions. When the causes and conditions change, the choices or the perceptions or the feelings change. So therefore no need to worry whatever feeling, perception, volition arise in this moment. So you can use it for the present moment, the things you have to done, you can use, but you no need to take it as a solid thing. No, this is my way, this is my way of doing things. So this kind of the strong the I, me, myself feeling is actually come from delusion, because all these feelings and perceptions change when the causes and conditions change. So that's why these things you have to keep in mind. So therefore it is good not to involve in these, the objects come to your mind when you are staying at your home. Sometimes the different talks going on, different objects come to your mind through the internet or the television, or sometimes the people in your home is discussing some issues. So you have to keep in mind, whatever thing come to your mind can change. Whatever perception, volition, whatever emotion arise in your mind is not permanent. It is not yours. It arises in this moment based on causes and condition at this moment. When the causes and conditions change, all these emotions also change. All feelings, perceptions also change. So therefore you have to keep in mind this reality of our body and mind. It is not only belongs to us. All the living beings are same. All of them have their own feelings, perceptions and volitions arise in their mind based on different causes and conditions. External, internal. External means the external objects. When they come through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind, feelings and perceptions arise. So that depends on, in that moment, which kind of causes and conditions support to your sense basis or your mind base. So therefore you have to keep in mind this reality, because sometimes when you are in an unhappy mood, even someone come to you and try to have a chat, or try to have make a joke with you and be happy by telling a joke, you can't laugh because you are in an unhappy mood. So that depends on, when you are in a happy mood, you are ready to enjoy a joke and laugh and happy. So that's why this reality you have to understand. Body and mind is not under your control. It is run based on causes and conditions. So it is good to train yourself when you are staying at home to meditate. I know many people who are came across of this kind of meditation practices, they practice meditation, they enjoy meditation. Not all meditators, but I would like to encourage people to engage in meditation practice in this time period, because it makes your mind calm, quiet and tranquil. It is very useful to make a healthy mind in this time period, because minds become unhealthy when mind fall into greed and hatred or unhappiness based on greed and hatred, because unhappiness always come from the greed and hatred. If you carefully analyze, you can see these things, because unhappiness come to you because wrongly relate to the sense objects. You are wrongly relating to your sense objects. That's why your mind become unhappy. If you are rightly relate to your sense objects, that means you always aware of the impermanence and non-self nature of these senses, and the suffering nature arise because the impermanent nature and non-self nature, suffering nature is always there. So therefore you know this reality, therefore you are ready to let go things, ready to release things and let the things be. You are not then become unhappy whatever thing come to you. So this mentality is helpful to let go of the all five sense world objects and free your mind. Let the things fade away and let the mind go to the stillness and calmness and quietness. So then you value that stillness, calmness and quietness of the mind. So then you enjoy it. Then because you are valuing it, you value that kind of mental states. So then your mind naturally go to that direction. Then mind start enjoying that kind of achievements. Achievements means that kind of mental states. When it comes to you, you enjoy it. So that is this kind of attitude you have to develop for meditation. So when you are practicing the meditation in your day-to-day life, if you are willing to do it, it is really beneficial for you. Why? When the mind become quiet, when the mind becomes still, it strengthens the mind. Make a big power to mind. Because when thinking, mind become tired. Thinking. Mind is running behind many things and making things. Ultimately, you become the mentally tired. When the mind is doing nothing, cut off and let go all the volitions, intentions, and then it leads to the stillness of the mind. When the mind becomes still, mind becomes powerful because mind is resting. That's why Lord Buddha taught us to rest, give a rest to our mind. Viveka nisitaya, viraga nisitaya, nirodha nisitaya. So that in Pali terms, that means you are meditating to give a rest to your mind and body. Give a rest to let the things, let the thoughts to fade away and disappear. And let the mind come to the non-arising states. That means no thoughts are arising in your mind. Mind is totally calm and quiet. You are not sleeping, but you are fully aware of your mind in those stages. So just you are aware of your mind, but no thoughts are there. So mind is still. This kind of mental states give you a big power to your mind, because mind is not scattered. Mind is focused to a one object. That is, mind is focused to your mind. You see the brightness of your mind. You are focused to your mind. So then mind is still and focused. So once you emerge from these mental states, your mind is not running here and there. Mind is still. So you can focus to any object and you can understand many things you haven't seen before. So that is the importance of the stillness of the mind. That is that is the purpose of meditation. So it gives you the great opportunity to understand things in a more profound way. So because sometimes if you are thinking, you think always based on your past experiences or the things you have taken to your mind early. But when your mind becomes still, this past experience are not coming in at that moment. Then the mind can take external things, the new objects through your five senses and mind, to new ideas, new facets of the objects you can take in. Otherwise you see only the things you are trained to see. So when your mind becomes still and calm and quiet, you can see the new things. So you can focus your mind and you can understand many things. So that's why it is important if you can use this time period for practicing meditation, because now most people can't go to their jobs, and the students have to stay there in their home, so they can so they are not wasting their time on roads and chatting with other people. So it is a good time for practicing meditation. So we as a Buddhist monk, I would like to encourage people to practice this meditation. So then it will strengthen your mind and make your mind much more healthier than before. So this is a great opportunity for all people to still their mind and strengthen their mind by practicing stillness, letting go all the thoughts. So if you have any questions, you can ask. So then I can answer. So still we have time. So I will read another sutta. So this one also I think really good to understand about your sense basis, how the duality in your senses. So this is also a Samyutta Nikaya sutta, Salayatana Samyutta, Channavagga, Dutiya Dvaya Sutta. This is the Pali. So in English, Linked Discourses 35, number 9 with Channa, number 93, the sutta number, a duality, second. So I will read this sutta. So this one also give another teaching, how you should understand your senses. So then this kind of understandings are really helpful to keep a distance to your senses, and the all forms, feelings, perceptions and volitions arise through your senses. You can keep a distance and be kind to all your experiences, or come from the other people or come from the outside. All these things you can be kind to yourself and the others in this way. So this is if you are relating to your senses in this way. So I will read this sutta. Mendicants, consciousness exists dependent on the duality. And what is that duality? I consciousness arises dependent on the eye and the sights. The eye is impermanent, perishing and changing. Sights are impermanent, perishing and changing. So this duality is
tottering and toppling. It is impermanent, perishing and changing. I consciousness is impermanent, perishing and changing. And the causes and conditions that give rise to I consciousness are also impermanent, perishing and changing. But since I consciousness has arisen dependent on conditions that are impermanent, how could it be permanent? So you can understand this concept, because causes and conditions are impermanent, then how I could be permanent? That's why Lord Buddha is trying to teach in very simple logic. So very simple things. You can just contemplate on these things and understand. This is not very complicated thing. So then, if you think in this way, you can develop a different kind of relationship with your experiences, with your senses. So then it will make your mind more contented. You are not expecting whatever thing you may not whatever thing you may not get from the world. So is there anything wrong here? Is there battery on this one? No. Okay, can you hear now? Is that going on correctly? Yeah, maybe these systems sometimes give troubles. Yeah, that is the nature. So you have to bear sometimes this kind of situation. Sometimes we are not the experts of this all this technical stuff. So sometimes. So the impermanence, you can understand the impermanence. So is there any noises coming? Huh? Sound is breaking. We don't know why. Is it okay now? Yeah, okay. I will continue, I will continue. Yeah. Okay. So then I will keep a distance a little bit. And okay. Maybe the sound levels are too high. That's why. So anyway. So this nature, you have to understand the impermanence of external objects and internal objects, this duality, the eye and sights. So these things are impermanent. So you can understand this reality. So anyway, now I will continue reading this sutta. The meeting, coming together, and joining together of these three things is called eye contact. So I will read the first paragraph again. Then you can remind now. We stop the disturb. No, I think we. Okay, please check first. Maybe more noises. Is that giving more noises? Is it better? Is it sound is good? Yeah, it doesn't matter now. People can hear. Yes, I will continue this teaching. Yeah, then it is okay. So I will read again. I consciousness arises depend on I and sights. This is the duality. The I is impermanent, perishing and changing. Sights are impermanent, perishing and changing. So this duality is tottering and toppling. It is impermanent, perishing and changing. I consciousness is impermanent, perishing and changing. And the causes and conditions that give rise to I consciousness are also impermanent, perishing and changing. But since I consciousness has arisen dependent on conditions that are impermanent, how could it be permanent? The meeting, coming together, and joining together of these three things is called eye contact. Eye contact is also impermanent, perishing and changing. And these causes and conditions that give rise to eye contact are also impermanent, perishing and changing. But since eye contact has arisen dependent on conditions that are impermanent, how could it be permanent? So, is that no good? Maybe the connection there is no good. This preamp, I think this amplifier may have a problem. Yeah, can you hear now? Okay. Okay, I will continue reading this sutta. So contacted, one feels, intends, and perceives. So these things are tottering and toppling. They are impermanent, perishing, and changing. Ear consciousness arises depend on the ear and sights. So nose consciousness also arises dependent on nose and smells. Tongue consciousness arises dependent on the tongue and tastes. Body consciousness arises dependent on the body and touches. Mind consciousness arises dependent on the mind and thoughts. The mind is impermanent, perishing and changing. Thoughts are impermanent, perishing and changing. So this duality is tottering and toppling. It is impermanent, perishing and changing. Mind consciousness is impermanent, perishing and changing. And the causes and conditions that give rise to mind consciousness are also impermanent, perishing and changing. But since mind consciousness has arisen dependent on conditions that are impermanent, how could it be permanent? The meeting, coming together, joining together of these three things is called mind contact. Mind contact is also impermanent, perishing and changing. And the causes and conditions that give rise to mind contact are also impermanent, perishing and changing. But since mind contact has arisen dependent on conditions that are impermanent, how could it be permanent? Contacted, one feels, intends, and perceives. So these things are tottering and toppling. They are impermanent, perishing and changing. This is how consciousness exists dependent on duality. So then you can understand the reality of all your consciousnesses. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So when you keep this understanding with yourself, so you can let go things. So let go whatever feeling, perception, volition come to your mind, and free your mind. So when you are holding on to these forms, feelings, perceptions, and volitions, that leads to suffering. When you let go things and free your mind, that leads to freeing your mind and stilling your mind and make you happy. So sometimes, but when you are living in your day-to-day life, you have to use your feelings, perceptions, and volitions to live in your day-to-day life. It is okay, but you should keep in mind, whatever feelings, perception, volition come to your mind might change in one day. So you have to accept that reality within your senses, come through your senses. That is the reality of your senses and consciousnesses. So when you are aware of this reality, you not fall into the suffering. That means the abhijja domanasa. That means the strongly holding on the view and the strongly holding on to your feelings, perceptions, and volitions, and not falling into unhappiness, domanasa. So you can abandon these unwholesome states of mind. This is really helpful to keep your mental health and bodily health also. So this is Dhamma. This Dhamma is really helpful for your day-to-day life when you are living in your home or whatever place. Hmm?
Okay. So can you hear now? Is it okay? Okay. Now okay. Good. What you can hear? Is it sounds are good or bad? Yeah. This is the impermanence. We have to understand. This is the reality. Okay. Oh now yeah. Now yeah. Now you are saying the sound is better. It is good. This is a good opportunity to understand the impermanence and the untrustworthiness of all these objects. These are coming and going. That is how it works. Sometimes yeah, that doesn't matter. Later. So anyway, if you have any questions, you can ask. So if someone is posting questions in the live chat, you can ask. So then I can answer. We have about 15 to 20 minutes. So do you want this mic? I can give you this mic.
It's okay. You can continue, and then when the question and answer time, then I will just speak.
Okay. Yes.
Yes. Please continue. Thank you. Just need to make sure the mic is closer to your mouth so people can hear.
Okay. Good.
Thank you.
So that's what the actually by in this Dhamma talk. Actually, I want to encourage people to enjoy the stillness of the mind. So it is really helpful. So it is beneficial for all the people who are living in this world. But this sometimes for some people maybe this is a new idea or strange idea. But I heard recently the Venerable Ajahn Brahm also is giving a talk. He is telling that so in the about in 17th century there was a pandemic like this in Europe. So can't remember. One of the scientists had to stay in his home. So actually, he later told that is one of the greatest time he could understood lot of things and discover many new things. When he was staying in his home, he could calm down his mind and contemplate in a deeper way. So these things actually, this is another helpful thing to people to understand, because not only thinking but stilling your mind make more sharp your mind and more powerful your mind. So giving this talk, I want to encourage you to still your mind by letting go things and not to worry about things, because things are coming and going. Whatever thing arises in this moment may pass away. So that is the nature of this life. So we have to accept that reality, because all the things come to us are not the expected things. Most of the times we have to encounter the unexpected things. So that is how this life is work. We have to understand that is the reality of this life. If you are mindful, you can see these things, even without having this kind of pandemic. This is a very special situation. So even without having this kind of pandemic, so in people who are living in different countries have faced different even in the present life, they have they've already faced very unfortunate or unforeseen circumstances sometimes. So this is the reality. So it is good to have a opportunity to understand the impermanence and the untrustworthiness of this world. You can't trust. You can't depend on these things, because these things are run by different kind of causes and conditions. This external world and internal world both run based on causes and conditions, not under your control. We think we have control on these things, very little control, but most of the time these are driven by causes and conditions. Actually your mind also driven by causes and conditions, not actually there is no I, me, myself to recognize, because all the time causes and conditions change your perceptions, volitions and feelings. So how can we say these things are belongs to me, I, me, myself? Lord Buddha say this I, me, myself come from the delusion. So you have to keep in mind, then you can make your mind more happy and contented, whatever thing you are experiencing now. So I think now our time is finished. So if there is any questions I can answer, or otherwise we can end the talk. So is there any questions? Yes, if you have any questions you can ask then.
The first question we have: how do you differentiate speculative thought from intuition?
Tell me again. Speculative
Thought from intuition.
Speculative thoughts and intuition. Intuition means it?
Intuition is like instinct.
Yeah. There is a difference. Sometimes the speculative thoughts always based on the current, the objects you are handling or the dealing with. Then your mind always run based on a certain level of the consciousness. That means that what you are aware of in the currently. But intuitive means sometimes your past karmic that means your past intentions or past experiences suddenly give the new ideas. So these things according to Dhamma, if you see, because sometimes this kind of thoughts can come from other living beings. Sometimes you don't see them, they can contact your mind and give a new idea. So sometimes you think it is intuition, but actually it is come from outside. So this is sometimes you can understand this kind of things once you develop your mind to a higher stages. Then you can directly deal with the people who are living in different states. That means different existences. So according to Dhamma, this is a reality. Sometimes intuition means that sometimes your past karmic things jump up and give a new ideas because you have past experiences. Sometimes maybe in this life, or sometimes maybe your past life experiences give this kind of thoughts to your mind. So these things sometimes jump up and give this kind of strange things. Actually, you haven't experienced in this life. You can't remember anything. And in the other way, the other living beings in this world also can directly tap your mind and give the thoughts to your mind. So that is also the accepted reality of this world. So this is intuition. And thinking means always you are thinking always based on your the perceptual world in the current associations or the recent associations, recent experiences. So that is a different thing. So that is what can I tell you for as an answer for this question. So is there anything else? Yeah.
Second question.
Yes.
Bhante, I think the most commonly faced issue is when people sit down and close their eyes, their mental drama starts to play. What do you suggest in such cases?
Yeah, in meditation, yes, that is true. Because your mind is trained to think based on your past experiences. Your thinking actually create the future objects, future actions based on your past experiences. That is the function of the mind. Then the thoughts and dreaming and thinking and making things. So that is the way how this mind works. If you understand the delusion behind this activity, because sometimes you think in this moment most of the things based on your past, but when you are come to the place when you have to do the thing, but you do something else, because that totally depend on the causes and conditions at that moment. So that's why it is good to keep in mind whatever perception, volition come to you in this moment is impermanent. It is changed because the causes and conditions change. So there is no real value. If you are engaged in meditation in this moment, thoughts are a hindrance for the meditation. It is distract your mind from meditation. Meditation means stilling your mind, letting go things, and free your mind from all thoughts. That is the purpose of meditation. Give a rest to your mind means stop all thinking. So that is the basic purpose of meditation. So if you are thinking means it is not worthwhile. So it is actually stop meditation. It is not it is hindering the development of meditation. So you have to keep in mind. In the same time, you have to be kind to your mind, because mind is not under your control. It runs based on causes and conditions. So the causes and conditions is your recent practices come to your mind and act automatically. It is the way how the mind works. So you have to be kind to your mind. You have to be soft and gentle to your mind. So you have to just bear that experiences and let the things be. Be kind to your mind. Like carrying a small child. So small childs can't understand. They do so many stupid things. But you have to be kind, soft and gentle, and take care of them. Not to admonish them or control them, but take care of them. So like in the same way, you have to take care of your mind. Be kind to your mind. Then the mind naturally become still, calm and quiet. So that's why that is the right attitude you have to maintain with about your mind. If you try to control your mind in a harsh way, so then it creates more agitation in your mind, create more thoughts and unhappiness. Because for stilling your mind, happiness is an important thing. So contentment is an important thing to arise in your mind. If you are discontented, mind never becomes still. So then your mind try to do something to avoid or abandon the discontentment. So that's why if you are relate to your mind in right way, so then you let the mind be, let the mind go, let whatever thing come to your mind, you let it go, let it be kind, soft and gentle. So then the mind naturally become calm and quiet. So that is the way how you have to relate to your mind. So no need to try to control it, but be kind to it and let the things be. Then the mind become calm, quiet and still. That is how it happens. So because the mind moves based on intentions. Intentions come from delusion. Avidya pacca sankara, sankara pacca vijnana, vijnana pacca namarupa. That is the in Pali terms, they're telling this dependent origination. The thoughts originate by the delusion. The deep cause is delusion. Not understanding the reality of body and mind. If you understand the reality of body and mind, you are not going to control it, but you just come to the passive states. You just let the things be. Be kind, soft and gentle to all thoughts arise in your mind. Then these things naturally get disappear. Like you are looking after a small child when he is doing the playing and doing all the things. So sometimes the small children are doing stupid things or the things they don't understand actually. So then you take care of the child. In that way you have to take care of your mind with kind, soft and gentle way. So then your mind naturally become calm and quiet and still. So I think
You still have a question? There are questions.
another question.
Yes.
Okay, ask.
What would the universe like us to learn? What would the universe like us to learn? Most likely the person is asking about the current crisis. The current situation.
Yeah, current situation.
What
Yeah.
would the universe like us to learn?
Yeah. This is one of the important things to understand. We run behind many our different thoughts or different intentions, different ambitions, and create this world in this way, that way. But sometimes because we always in most of the people who are living in this world, they want to make this world according to their way, their wishes, according to their way of thinking. But sometimes they can't control this world. This is one of the important instance now we are facing. So the people facing a huge difficulty to live according to their way. So now they have to follow the nature's way. So to act according to the current situation. So this one actually gives the impermanence, because when we are successful in controlling things, we think we will be successful forever. Now in this situation we can see these things are not always under our control. Some things they just arise. These things are not under our control. Not only this pandemic, I have seen a few days ago in America, there's a tornado create a huge problem in one area in United States, and destroy a lot of houses and kill many people. So these things, the scientists or the others don't have any control on these things. Some time ago, a tsunami came and killed over 100,000 people. So still this pandemic didn't kill that number. Probably it will come in future. We don't know. So this kind of things happen in this world. We don't know. Scientists say sometimes if something like a big the space objects come and hit this world can burn within seconds. Some scientists predict this kind of things also. So who knows what will happen in this world. So this is the reality of this world. So we have to understand this reality. We have to admit. So then you cut off the high hopes in your future. So you become more kind, soft and gentle person, whatever thing you are experiencing now. So this is a good opportunity to understand the reality of this world. So then it is helpful to understand this universal, the reality. We are not the authority to control everything. Sometimes people are foolish enough to think in that way. So we should understand. Even our thoughts arise in our mind based on causes and conditions. When the causes and conditions change, now you see, we can't act as we think the few months before. Now you have to change all our programs, all the arrangements. Now we have to throw away all the programs, and we have to stay at our homes. We don't know how long time we have to stay at our homes. So this is the reality. No other options. So good.
Next question.
Okay.
Can you please explain knowingness and awareness to us? What you know and what you are aware.
Yeah, that actually knowing is aware. So knowing means this awareness actually based on your knowing. That means what your sense basis. So aware means always awareness actually have a one part of your training or your understanding about how you aware to things. So that's why it is important to keep in mind this right view is an important part of this training, because then you know things in the right way. Otherwise your knowledge or knowing things is different to each and every person. That based on your view, that means how you see things. How you see things come from what you know about these things. So that's why it is important to teach according to Buddhism the impermanent nature, non-self nature and suffering nature. So when you aware of this reality in this way, when you aware of things, you know these things are impermanent. So then you watch on that facet of the experience and you let the things disappear. So that's why if you have the right awareness, that means with the right knowledge, right knowing, so then it leads to fade away things. It leads to disappear things. It leads to letting go. So that is an important part of meditation. So then it leads to the letting go of five sense world and go to the mind realm, the material realm or immaterial realm. So that is called you are leaving this five sense world, go to the fine material realm and immaterial realm. So that is the development of meditation to deeper stages. So that is the purpose of. So that's why the right knowledge, this knowing is, so the awareness actually should based on right knowledge, right knowing. So that is, I think I answered your question. So
Last question.
okay. now.
Last question. How can we help the Sangha at Newbury Buddhist Monastery? How can we help the Sangha?
At Newbury.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I heard now this. Yeah, actually, we get dry rations for running this monastery currently because we don't get the cooked food because we don't accept. I think we already published in our website the current according to the current situation, we maintain this monastery in a such a way. So we accept all the dry rations, but first I think it is better to contact someone here and ask what actually this monastery need. So then you can send by the ways. Now we are using by these supermarkets give their transport, or if you can bring here and you can keep here and go. So these methods you can use for supporting to this monastery, or otherwise you can donate money to the BSV. So they are also supporting to run this monastery. So I think that is the way how you can support to this monastery. So you can go to the website and Facebook. No, Facebook also have your thing. So you can go to the website, BSV website, and NBM website, nbm.org.au or bsv.org.au. Both these websites are supporting. That means they are the directly connected websites to this monastery. So I think now we are going to today's program. So we are paying respect to Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Okay.
Just as a correction, the BSV website is bsv.net.au. And also apologize to the sound technical issue that we're having today. Thank you very much for tuning into our YouTube channel. Thank you.